Hi.
Hi.
What are we doing?
Can you grab a napkin?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Andy. I can blow my
And
nose,
and
sorry.
this is Kim. Yeah. I think that's a good idea. As long as you're doing that, I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll do that too. Yeah.
We participated in a sweat
We went to
lodge
Sweat
ceremony.
Lodge.
Yeah,
So sometimes it gets a little bit dirty in there, muddy
makes
in
my
there.
nose run. Anyway, it was good though.
It was good Sweat Lodge.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
today,
Yeah. Today we're going to read from the Urantia book, but first we've got 365 Days Walking the Red Road by Terry Jean.
this goes way back.
This one, it's March 26th. This is by Dekanawida, who's also known as the Great Peacemaker of the Iroquois.
Mm.
Okay?
And he said, "Neither anger nor fear shall find lodging in your mind. Don't be fearful and don't be angry."
You know what?
Wisdom from 1300. And also on this date in history, March 26th, the Trail of Tears ended. The forced relocation of the Cherokee Nation.
It wasn't just the Cherokee, it was like a lot of the tribes in the Southwest. It was like the Choctaw and then some other tribes in the South, Southeast were relocated to Oklahoma territory. Okay. So remember them who passed along the Trail of Tears.
And from the Tao Te Ching,
By Lao Tzu, translation by Ralph Allendale. We have,
I'll let you read this one.
okay, 54. The whole is in each part. There's a famous part of the Urantia book called The Part and the Whole, which is kind of difficult to understand, but that you can see that the part is in the whole, like a part of something, like your ear is part of you.
Right.
It's harder to see that each part of you contains the whole, right?
If we are the product of our DNA is in every part.
Yes. And that itself, yeah, is a reflection of the Creator's process in creating us, because Creator is in all of us too. And Creator is the whole of everything, or the concern for everything is in each part. And I think we've lost that with this 20th century materialism and the whole modernist push and all this stuff. That's something that we've lost, that feeling, that connection with the whole, because the whole emphasis is on individualism, just like me, my, right? And you're you, and you got you, and I got me, instead of the collective. But I think that's so important. I think we're rediscovering that. Okay, whatever is planted deeply is not easily uprooted. Whatever is embraced sincerely does not crave escape. Whatever is embraced sincerely doesn't need to escape. Ever since we lost our intuition as our main guide in life, these virtues have had to be consciously cultivated to survive. Cultivate them in yourself and they will be genuine. Cultivate them in your family and they will surely flourish. Cultivate them in your community and they will be long lasting. Cultivate them in your country and they will be widely propagated. Cultivate them in the world and they will certainly become universal. In this way, you will know others by what you do yourself. You will know families by what you contribute as a family. You will know the world by what you do as a planetary citizen. Yep. Hello, Greg Johnson. Hope you're listening.
My brother carried a business card that said Gregory Johnson, planetary citizen.
Yeah,
It was 20 years ago.
he's in heaven now.
Mm-hmm.
How do we know all this? Because we know that each part is the whole, and the whole is in each part. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right.
And then behind it all, today we're in the Urantia book, paper part 2, paper 40.
Section 9.
The spirit fused mortals.
Spirit fused mortals.
I can start.
I can. Do you want me to go or do you want to go?
Well, since it's over there, why don't you go?
I'll go. Okay. Ascending spirit fused mortals are not third source personalities. They are included in the Father's personality circuit, but they have fused with individualizations of the pre mind spirit of the third source and center. What is the pre mind spirit? What does that mean? Of the third source and center is, of course, the Holy Spirit. Such spirit fusion never occurs during the span of natural life. It takes place only at the time of mortal reawakening in the Urantia existence on the mansion worlds. In the fusion experience, there is no overlapping. The will creature is either spirit fused, sun fused, or father fused. It can't be both. You can't be, You can be Trinity embraced, but that's something else. That's not fused, that's embraced.
So if you're spirit fused, it doesn't happen.
You're not going to be father fused. And it never it doesn't happen, even for father fusion. Usually, it doesn't happen until we get
or in Urantia life.
Yeah, in the mansion worlds.
Okay.
Yeah. The fact that these types of mortal creatures are not adjuster fusion candidates does not prevent the adjusters from indwelling them during the life in the flesh. Adjusters do work in the minds of such beings during the span of material life, but never become everlastingly one with their pupil souls. Okay. During this temporary sojourn, the adjusters effectively build up the same spirit counterpart of the mortal nature, the soul, that they do in the candidates for adjuster fusion. Up to the time of mortal death, the work of the adjusters is wholly akin to their function in your own races, but upon mortal dissolution, the adjusters take eternal leave of these spirit fusion candidates, and proceeding directly to Divinington, the headquarters of all divine monitors, there await the new assignments of their order. Okay, so if we're candidates for father fusion, then we'll, on the mansion worlds up there after we die, we'll be put back together with our thought adjusters. But here, these spirit fused, don't refuse, don't realign with them. I'm wondering here, and we're talking about pre-mind type of what does this say? Okay. With the pre-mind individualizations, they're fused with individualizations of the pre-mind spirit of the third source and center. So I don't know. I'm just wondering, like individuals maybe such as your other brother, Chris, might be fused in this way.
Okay.
It's possible. Or people who are, born with a mental disability. I'm thinking are still part of our family and they're still human. They're still personalities and we love them. But they don't have the intellectual capacity to um, to respond to like I don't know the father fusion thing. I don't know. And yeah, and that's a thought. I don't know. It's just a thought.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think you have something.
Okay. Do you want to go here?
Sure. What are we here?
When
When such sleeping survivors are repersonalized on the mansion worlds, the place of the departed adjuster is filled by an individualization of the spirit of the divine minister, the representative of the infinite spirit in the local universe concerned. This spirit infusion constitutes these surviving creatures spirit fused mortals.
hmm
Such beings are in every way your equals in mind and spirit, and they are indeed your contemporaries, sharing the mansion and Urantia spheres in common with your order of fusion candidates and with those who are to be sun fused.
hmm
There is, however, one particular in which spirit fused mortals differ from other ascendant brethren. Mortal memory of human experience on the material worlds of origin survives death in the flesh because of the indwelling adjuster has acquired a spirit counterpart or transcript of those events of human life which were of spiritual significance. But with spirit fused mortals, there exists no such mechanism whereby human memory may persist. The adjuster transcripts of memory are full and intact, but these acquisitions are experiential possessions of the departed adjusters and are not available to the creatures of their former indwelling, who therefore awaken in the resurrection halls of the Morancha spheres of Nebadon as if they were newly created beings, creatures without conscience of former existence.
Okay.
Hmm. This is a parallel with past lives, possibly.
Well, it says that they won't.
They won't remember.
They won't remember.
Well, how
Um,
many of us existed before and don't remember?
well, that could be true, but here they're saying that those memories are taken away from them kind of permanently by their adjusters. But I don't know. Yeah.
Such children of the local universe are enabled to repossess themselves of much of their former human memory experience through, having it retold by the associated seraphim and cherubim, and by consulting the records of the mortal career filed by the recording angels. This they can do with undoubted assurance because the surviving soul of experiential origin in the material and mortal life, while having no memory of mortal events, does have a residual experiential recognition response to these unremembered events of past experience.
Right. So if this were true, Chris, like might not remember your
Family.
right, but he'd have like an emotional, like experiential kind of gravitation towards the people that were kind to him and that he recognized, on a deeper level, kind of. And then he could have all of this history, so you could be like explaining to him, yeah, you remember when we used to do this,
Right. Right. When a spirit-fused mortal is told about the events of the unremembered past experience, there is an immediate response of experiential recognition within the soul identity of such a survivor, which instantly invests the narrated event with the emotional tinge of reality and with the intellectual quality of fact. And this dual response constitutes the reconstruction, recognition, and validation of an unremembered facet of mortal experience. I have you continue.
Even with adjuster fusion candidates, only those human experiences which were of spiritual value, are common possessions of the surviving mortal and the returning adjuster, and hence are immediately remembered subsequent to mortal survival. Concerning those happenings which were not of spiritual significance, even these adjuster fusers must depend upon the attribute of recognition response in the surviving soul. And since any one event may have a spiritual connotation to one mortal, but not to another. Okay, so the same event could have an association with the spiritual kind of association, right?
Mhm.
Okay. It becomes possible for a group of contemporary ascenders from the same planet to pool their store of adjuster remembered events and thus to reconstruct any experience which they had in common and which was of spiritual value in the life of any one of them. Okay. Well, I wonder if they ever have the experience of remembering something wrong.
That's a good question.
But you know
I
what?
would guess not.
I think there's enough, like, because they can consult the records
Mhm.
about these things and the
Mhm.
angels that
Mhm.
know these things.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think so, really.
Right.
Right? They might think that, but as soon as they look that up, then they're kind of like,
Mhm.
let those ideas go, whatever. Okay, while we understand such techniques of memory reconstruction fairly well, we do not grasp the technique of personality recognition. Personalities of one-time association mutually respond quite independently of the operation of memory, albeit memory itself and the techniques of its reconstruction are necessary to invest such mutual personality response with the fullness of recognition. Okay, so we're responding more to other personalities that we know, and like a vibe or something, right? Then we do like exactly what happened. Do you want me to keep going, or do you want to go?
Why don't you finish it?
A spirit fused survivor is also able to learn much about the life he lived in the flesh by revisiting his nativity world subsequent to the planetary dispensation in which he lived. Such children of spirit fusion are enabled to enjoy these opportunities for investigating their human careers, since they are in general confined to the service of the local universe. They do not share your high and exalted destiny in the paradise core of the finality. Only adjuster fused mortals or other especially embraced descendant beings are mustered into the ranks of those who await the eternal deity adventure. Spirit fused mortals are the permanent citizens of the local universes. They may aspire to paradise destiny, but they cannot be sure of it. In Nebadon, their universe home is the eighth group of worlds circling Salvington, a destiny heaven of nature and location, much like the one envisioned by the planetary traditions of Urantia. Okay?
Would not be a bad place to be then.
No, it just doesn't have all of the potentials inherent in being father fused. But it doesn't have the pitfalls either.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything
Well, that's
else?
a lot to think about.
Yeah. Well, especially, with regards to your brother and stuff. And like I said, I don't know if that's true. That's just a hypothesis.
That's a good take, I think.
But I think the most important thing to know is that everybody's included. And when somebody's important to you, they're still important too, regardless of what their, intellect is.
Mhm.
You know, but that's not everybody is the same in potential. You know.
If I had to do a writing assignment on this, it would be titled, "Are there cans of beer to roll in heaven?"
Because that's what he liked
Because
to
that's
do.
what he liked to do. When he saw my mother's father, when he saw Grandpa Lee, he would immediately go to the refrigerator and get a can of beer and roll it across the floor to
To Grandpa.
Grandpa. So I wonder if there are cans of beer to roll
Oh,
in
that'd
this
be
journey.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see him again, I'm sure of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're gonna
bake some cookies.
we're gonna make cookies. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for being with us today. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.